What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, dude? We back. We back in the building. We back in the building. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, anyway. We back, y'all. We back to recap and review The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16, episode 7, Nashville Hold'em. Okay. I titled this Angela Girl. Drew, I like you, but girl. Oh, we got to get into it. All right, let me get to my notes because I don't plan on being here long. I don't plan on being here long. I don't plan on being here long. What's going on, Miss LaQuanza? What's going on? Let me see something. I done been live 4 times today, so I know this thing ain't sending out no notifications, which is fine. But we still gonna get into it. And whoever watch it. Whoever don't. Okay. Let me see. Check something else really quick. Still not there yet. Okay. All right. Had to get to my notes, honey. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this episode, child. I'm going to give y'all my overall rating for the episode, probably when we get done with the review. Okay. So let me pull up my notes. All right. So, child, the show opens up with Britt going to look for a car. She tell her husband, sidebar. The people are definitely having conversations about Britt, Edie's husband, and I think they're very interesting conversations. I am gonna say that. I do. So Britt is talking about she, you buy me a car every year, every 2 years, and I was just wondering, like, are you gonna buy me a car? So girl. Anyway, anything with Britt and her man, I'm interested in skating right on past it. Okay. So we get a scene from Drew and Angela. Okay. And so Drew was like, girl, what my cousin liquor tastes like? Angela was like, girl, I called Michael Jordan's son, okay, Marcus, and Marcus said y'all ain't no kin peoples to him. Okay. Marcus said he ain't kin to you. Okay. And then You got Drew talking about, well, I was just playing, but my mama did say we had the same last name, so we could be related. Drew, this is why I be trying to take up for you, Drew. I really do. I be trying to take up for you, Drew, and then you go and you do stuff like this. And Drew, you just make it hard. You make it hard for me. Okay. So then um again, she says she goes on to play and all of that kind of stuff. So Kelly, we get a scene from Kelly. Kelly invites Shamia, Portia, and Cynthia over. Now, one thing I know about Cynthia gonna show up to the party on time. Okay, Cynthia is going to show up on time. Okay, so Cynthia shows up, and they were having conversations about you do know what kind of men she like, what kind of man she's interested in, and then in her confessional, she says she needs someone with good oral hygiene. She says she don't need nobody vegan. She says she don't need nobody who smokes. She don't need none of that stuff. She wants you to be financially stable. You know, Cynthia is definitely looking for her a young tenderoni, and I believe she has one. Um, Kelly done dyed the dog all the way pink because Portia is like, what's going on with the dog? The dog is dyed all the way pink. Kelly explains in her confessional, honey, that the dog, somebody stole the dog, and so it won't happen again. She dyed the dog pink. I do believe she did too much on the dog. Okay. Again, I'm okay with the tail. I'm okay with a few spots of the the dye, but the whole dog almost, girl, I could not. So Britt is telling her husband, okay, what had happened at the peace brunch. Now she says, Angela, like, I thought she was sympathetic or empathetic, and she's not. She lacks empathy because she says she knows all about my license. I'm under investigation. Like, what else do you want me to do? I'm under investigation. Like, how do you know? So, girl, Brit is weird. Brit is weird. And I still stand by Angela. Based on what we've seen on the show thus far, I still stand by the fact that she said, on what grounds? What grounds do you have that you have lost your license? It has to be something that you've done before. She goes to talking about how she has to have a squeaky clean pass or a squeaky clean. She has to be squeaky clean so that again the insurance. Now I will tell you, they do want you to be honest about all those things, but once you pass that in the first initial background, you're good. All that other stuff Britt talking about is irrelevant, to be honest. Again, they're not just about to um investigate you because someone that you was on a show with the very next day decided to put out some pictures about you. That's just not how it works. What they mainly care about is that you're being honest about where you live, you're being honest about stuff like that. They need to be able to contact you, things like that. It has nothing to do with what Kenya did, like at all. And I just wish Britt would just stop that. She likes to build her own narrative, and then when people don't support her narrative, she goes to crying. Well, people are not there for me like they should be. Oh my god, girl. Anyway, um, she says that she thinks Angela is she thinks that Angela is very sneaky, and Angela talks about the peace brunches. She says that she was welcoming to Brit with open arms, and Brit just decided to just do whatever she did, do her thing or whatever. So she's saying that she had heard a rumor that Charles had a baby outside of their marriage. Now, what's crazy about that is Angela did make a post today about Wendy Williams, or with Wendy Williams, and I think that's what she was referring to. So I think Angela knew that this was going to come up on the show because, of course, her confessionals. So I did see that. Now, Angela is telling Drew that she hopes that there is some growth with Britt Edie. And so then Drew lets us know that Britt invited her out for drinks. So we pan back over to Portia. Cynthia asked where are you and Drew at? And so she says that she realizes Drew is a pathological liar and that she's not really worried about it. This is all I have to say about Portia. Portia has to grow up, girl, grow up. Because I'm so sick of you. Like, Drew is clearly trying to move forward, regardless of who likes her, who don't like her, regardless of how many lies she tell or how many lies you're able to clock. Drew is trying to move forward, and Portia wants to stay in this kitty spot. And I just think it's crazy to me. Grow up, Portia. Dang. So anyway, Portia invites the ladies to, and I agree with Cynthia, by the way. So Portia invites the ladies to Nashville to her birthday party or her birthday trip. And she invites Lauren, Manetta, and three other ladies with her that are her friends. And then, of course, she invites everyone else on the cast except for Drew. So while Drew and Angela are talking, Angela was like, well, Portia invited us over here to Nashville. And Angela says that when they did the phone call, she was like, where's my Chicago sister at? Like, where's my Chicago friend at? Y'all leaving her out. And so Portia was acting like on the call that she couldn't hear Angela, but she never said no. She knew right then who Angela was bringing. She knew who she meant when she said her Chicago sister. So she knew who she was bringing right then and there. If y'all watching in the bushes, can y'all at least just like speak good evening? Hey, y'all. Maybe y'all watching while y'all on the way home from work or something. But anyway, so I thought that was crazy. So she's asking, can she bring a +1? And in my opinion, Portia knew who the +1 was. She just didn't say, oh, you can't invite her. So then Angela mentions to Drew, and Drew says that she just wished that she could get it. Hey, Gigi, that she could have gotten an invite from Portia instead. She would have felt more comfortable had she got the invite from Portia. Do I think Angela was messy for inviting her? Absolutely, I do. Okay. But I also believe that it's a show that you do have to move forward. And I believe that they absolutely look at y'all coming out of the bushes. Hey, Kiwan, what's going on? How you doing? Did I say that right? Kiwan. What's up, IPV? What's going on? What's going on? I absolutely think it was messy for Angela to invite Drew. But I also understand that it ain't that deep. It can't be that deep. Portia, how are you more bothered with how I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. How are you more bothered with the fact, oh, look at y'all coming out the bushes? What's going on, T Lee? What's going on, Miss Leslie? I'm just trying to figure out how you more bothered about the fact of like how are you not this bothered with Dennis? I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, why are you not so bothered with Dennis? Dennis is the person who is continuing to work with Drew. And I get it. Maybe you feel like it's crossing girl code, but ain't that crossing some like baby daddy code? Because again, I don't know, I just feel like you're harping on something that ain't that deep. What do y'all feel about this? Do y'all feel like the beef is like one side? What do y'all feel? I just feel like we just harping on something. We're 7 episodes in and we're still talking about Drew working with the baby daddy. And I'm gonna get to something that happened at the end of the episode, but it's just too much. Okay. So Angela mentions it to Drew. Okay, I read that. Drew, again, she says she wants to invite from Portia. Portia is Aggie. Dennis is her XXXXXX. Kiwan said, I'm good, and yes, you did. Okay, good. I'm glad because I will butcher her name, honey. Let me see. What's up, Darren Hood? What's going on? What's going on? I think she wanted or needed him for a talking point. I do believe that because you guys have to remember when Portia first came on the show, Portia was going to be Miss Gubadia. But then a week later, or however long it took, she filed for divorce. So her storyline changed. I have a really good feeling, y'all, that Bravo wanted Portia back for Portia's divorce story. Because if you think about it, what was the name of her ghetto show with Dennis and all of them on there? Y'all, that show had gotten so ghetto and out of control. And I think that Bravo thought that if they asked Portia back, they were going to get some of the Simon drama of it all, right? And what I mean by the Simon drama of it all is it wouldn't have been his first rodeo on reality TV, nor would it have been his first rodeo on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because he was absolutely on with Fallon, whether they showed him a lot or not. He was on with Fallon. So to me, I think Bravo purposely did this and they just didn't get what they thought they were going to get. And then when Simon sent out, oh, there we go. Thank you. Portia's Family Matters. When Simon sent that cease and desist, that really that ended everything for them of how they wanted to do things. And I think that that's why Portia is so hung on this Drew situation. But it's stupid to me. It's so seventh grade. Like, it's so seventh grade. Grow up. You say you don't want Dennis. What is you concerned about what Dennis is doing with anybody for that matter? I wouldn't care if again, could it have crossed girl code? Absolutely, but I don't think it's that deep. I really don't. I think Portia full of a Tukey one. Okay, so let me see. So then Portia is calling Drew a pathological liar and more. And y'all, I'm starting to think that production is honing in on Drew's like. Okay, I'm not saying that Drew. I like Drew. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it all the way above. I like Drew, and I think Drew do be lying. Okay, I think Drew be stretching the truths and stuff. But sometimes I do think production be playing on Drew top. I do, I do. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I think production be kind of playing on Drew top a little bit. I do. Again, I'm not saying that Drew is always telling the truth because she always lying and acting shocked. But I also kind of see the game that production is playing. Okay. Um, but anyway, Portia calls her a pathological liar. Cynthia then asks, well, did you invite Drew on the trip? She says, no, I didn't extend an invite to Drew because I want to have a peaceful weekend, a peaceful girls' weekend. So I didn't invite her. Again, your beef is not that bad with her that you can't coexist with her and y'all working together. Like, what the heck? What's going on? My thoughts? How you doing? I, that was weird to me. So then Britt is still talking. Britt ain't buy no car. That man ain't buy no car for her. What do he do? Do anybody know what he do? Because she said I'm talking about you saying that you would buy me a car every 2 years, and I'm just wondering what do he do for a living to have bought her a car every 2 years? That's what I want to know. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to know. What do you do for a living, sir? And I still don't think about the car, but I'm just asking, what do you do for a living for her to even ask for you to buy her um a car or every 2 years? I don't know. I would like to know what you do. Okay. You ain't too into your wife, is what it looked like to me. And again, that's just what I see on the screen. So Britt and Drew have a sit down, child. Now, Drew, this is what I'm talking about. Drew gonna sit there and tell that girl, um, I was so happy that you reached out to me. I said, now, Drew, when you was talking to Angela, you said you was gonna leave Angela. I mean, you said you was gonna leave her right there, and you was saying all kind of stuff about Britt at that time. Drew, what you talking about? Again, Drew, I be trying to have your back, sis. My God, me and Josiah be out here swinging for you, but you be doing too much. Okay. So they're having a conversation, and Britt feels like no one. Um, Britt feels like I see your comment, my thoughts. Britt feel like no one has their back, right, or has her back, and that's the same thing she been crying in these episodes. She was like, Oh, y'all didn't have my back. Y'all was more understanding. So they talking about the peace brunch or whatever. And y'all know that Drew was saying that she was a little bit more team. She didn't like what Kenya did, but also she wanted to know Britt's past. So she was like, I want to know Britt's past. So Drew asked Britt, have you ever sold it before? She was like, so what? The cat. So Britt says, no, we were, me and my friend, we were webcam girls, and we would get on the webcam naked, and we would just sit there and have conversations with people, and they would get paid for tips. She said she was in her 20s. She did not say nothing about being young like she did in the past episodes, but she did say she was in her 20s. And I thought, that's very interesting. Okay. That is very interesting to me. Chef, this thumbnail looks like they are going into space next. They may be going to space on their cash trip. Hey Chef Don Don, what's going on, Bama girl? I just finished your last video. Have you calmed down yet? Oh child. Baby, if y'all ain't seen that last video, y'all have got to see it. I promise you're gonna get a good laugh. It was Shannon Sharp's me reading the text messages with that Shannon Sharp situation. It was funny. Telling y'all it was funny. But yeah, I'm good now. Okay, so then Drew asked her, well, have you ever done a corno? And she said no, and she stumbled across it or whatever. But then that's when she explained the whole webcam situation, which I don't honestly. I mean, we can only go by what she tells us, but okay, I about don't believe it. But anyway, they uh-oh, I went too fast in my notes. Okay, so let me back up. No, I'm doing right. I'm doing right. Hold on. Okay, so then Drew said that she got a DM from the person's penis that was on the poster board. So Britt asked her, well, did you know who the recipient was? And Britt actually brought the question up and she said, was it true that you told these girls this? And so Drew said, here we go, Drew. Um, I said that I didn't know, but then she turned around and said, oh, but I thought I recognized the penis. Drew, we should be asking you questions. Why do you recognize how do you recognize someone's penis like that? I don't know about that. But anyway, they was going back and forth about it. And so here go Britt. Drew, put yourself in my shoes. Would you not feel a type of way if you were being humiliated and everyone was talking about you online and there was nothing you could do? Like, I couldn't get out of the bed for 3 whole days. Like, 3 whole days, I was stuck in the bed. So, Drew, you mean you don't understand me? You don't understand what I'm going through? Girl, I just, I don't know. I just want to put what you call, them little patches you put on your nose to help you sleep and stuff, so you don't necessarily be snoring and so you can breathe correctly. That's what she need. Brad's voice is so annoying. Brad, Brad's voice was so freaking. It's so annoying. So Drew then says, "Oh, well, I've been in the blogs too, so I understand what that feels like, and I'm so sorry." Like, I was like, Drew, Drew. Speaking of Drew, Ralph and Drew go to court. All right. Now they go to court. They have three things that Drew has asked for. Drew has asked for Ralph to not be in the basement anymore. I don't know where Drew think Ralph is gonna go. I mean, maybe she can get him a one way plane ticket to Tampa, Florida. Maybe that's where he wants to go. I don't know. Also to have the record sealed, okay, or to have the court case sealed, and he also she wants to see his financial records, okay. She wants to see his financial records. Um, Drew didn't get none of the stuff that she wanted. Drew, unfortunately, and again, I get it. I think their whole divorce situation is pretty sad. Again, I think it's sad, especially when you have kids of a young age and they're asking questions. They're not crazy. These kids are not crazy. But I think what I did not understand, Ralph had three attorneys. And apparently this last attorney that he had know exactly what they supposed to be doing. True. I don't know. You may need to consider getting you another attorney. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I also come close because I got something I want to tell y'all. I like Drew. I like Drew. I sure do. But Drew, something in them court documents you don't want to come out. Something that, and I don't know what it is. I mean, we did have a whole storyline at the second half of last season where you was allegedly dating Ty Young. I don't know. I don't know, Drew, but it gives me, Drew, that something is in those documents that you don't want the people to know or see. Because I get it. Ralph is another Martell Jr. or he's another Martell, not a Martell Jr., but he's another Martell. And so I see Ralph being very vindictive and wanting to embarrass Drew by wanting those documents unsealed. But something gives me, Drew, that there's something in those documents that you do not want to come out. I don't think Ralph cares. I really don't. I don't think Ralph cares. I don't think he cares what's in those documents. But I think that she does. And I think it is more than just not wanting the kids to see and read it. I think there's something on Drew's behalf that she don't want to come out. Just my thoughts though. So again, Drew didn't get anything. When they got done with their court case, Ralph was outside with his attorneys, and Drew was saying, you know, I can't remember what she was saying. She was saying some kind of like you a BAN or something crazy she was saying. Um, Florida has no vacancy light or right now. Sorry, child. I'm just saying, send them down there to Tampa. Beyond Blessed says, Chef, you crazy, LOL. Listen. I'm just saying. No, these people here. Okay, so then the ladies they get ready to get on the plane and they head um to Nashville. Now, again, remember that this is Portia's trip. Angela misses her flight. Child, Angela, I like you, Angela, but girl, what is up with y'all around there in Atlanta? Knowing y'all know firsthand how the airport operates. Y'all will wait literally 2 hours before your flight to head to the airport, knowing you got to go through that hellish security line. And even now, the last couple times I've been to Atlanta, it does not matter if you have clear because the lines are still long. Y'all know Atlanta airport is so busy. But I'm not saying that like you have to go through regular stuff. All I'm saying though is, girl, why you ain't leave on time and take the train to get to your gate? Exactly. But I actually think it's a little bit different from them since they was flying privately. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they still had to, but it's still crazy. Hey, Miss Tyra, what's going on? I just think they're still crazy. Why is you late, girl? You knew you was going on this trip. You ain't got no reason to be late. So Angela's late, child, and the ladies pretend like they don't notice that Angela ain't there, but they notice that Angela won't there. So I am so tired of this when it comes to Housewives or reality TV. Like fighting over rooms is so over out. I mean, why do we still gotta keep doing that? So Here they go. And it wasn't like they was fighting over the room. So Cynthia was like, can we go check out the rooms and stuff? Now, clearly they're like an hour or something outside of Nashville. So Portia picks the first good room, and then here comes Shamia. Shamia jumps on the bed, and Shamia, she gets on there. Now, I do truly do think, I think that Portia was looking out for Shamia with that room because um she didn't like say, hey, well, let's check out the other rooms, let's check out this, let's check out that, because that was a big place. However, they get up to the attic and it's a room up there with six, looked like six beds. Maybe it was four, but it looked like it was maybe six. Six beds up there in the attic. And I believe Kelly, Cynthia, and somebody else stayed up there. I I know that production be picking these houses and doing stuff like that. They do that and they do it on purpose. I think that they book rooms with bunk beds intentionally on purpose. They know what they're doing when they do that. They know exactly what they're doing when they do that. Hey, Miss Butterfly. Shout out to IPV. Sunday is the Boss Bay Awards, and Chef Donna is nominated and need your kind support to help him get there to collect his award. Period. Okay, and the GoFundMe link is here. We are about 260 something dollars away from our goal, guys. So if you don't mind, and if you can't give, at least share. All right, I appreciate y'all. Um, so they get done with all of their rooms and all of that kind of stuff like that, and then they go sit down for dinner or lunch or whatever. And here comes Angela, and she was like, "Hey, everybody!" They walk in. She walk in. Now, girl, this is when Angela say, "I invited Drew because I didn't think you had an issue. You didn't say no, Angela. I like you, girl, but that was messy. That was messy. It was. It was messy. Now, I'm quite sure that someone on production advised her that she needed to invite Drew because Drew was going because it was an all cast event. Okay, I get that. But I do think it was rude. It was a little bit rude and uncouth to invite someone that ain't really kicking it with the other person on the trip. I have to agree with that. Even though I still feel like the situation is one sided, I do still feel like it wasn't of you to invite someone who it's Portia's trip and Portia got an issue with Drew. I don't think it was cool for you to invite her. Because to me, that means you looking for a problem. You talking about mediating. But it ain't no mediating when it come to housewives like that. Most of the time, my good girl. And y'all know what I noticed? Portia, why you would act like you were above all the drama talking about whatever she said when they was sitting down at the house at Kelly house. She act like she above the drama. Portia, we're talking about, we need to get you girls together because you girls got a lot of beef. Whatever she said, girl, you do too. What is you talking about? So, they get there, then Mayetta, Lauren, and her other three friends show up or whatever, and everybody at the table get to ask them, "Where's Drew? Where's Drew?" And so Portia explains that Angela invited Drew on the trip, and then Lauren and all the rest of them was like, "Oh, that's not cool. That you shouldn't have done that." Blah 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 blah. And so Portia is asking, what kind of glue you got up under your wig, or what is going on with your wig? And so, um, Angela, what I will say is Angela held her own though. Angela was like, "Well, I did invite her, and I'm glad that Angela was forthcoming and honest. I don't agree with it, but I'm glad that she was forthcoming and honest about inviting Drew on their trip." Now, Drew is actually not in Nashville at the time because Drew is partying because she got signed to a record label, I believe, and she was out having drinks. Okay. She called Dennis on the phone and was like, "Thank you for the bottle, bro. Thank you for the bottle, bro." And that's what we seen. And so we ain't seen Drew walk in just yet. Okay. Now, Portia asked what's wrong with Angela, and Portia said that she felt like Angela um um like forced her to let Drew come or whatever. But Portia never said no. So unless we didn't see it. So Portia, I also have to say that you did not say no. And I think you knew I really think Portia knew that Drew didn't have a choice but to come on the trip. Now, when Drew walks in, it's gonna be very different because Drew is actually gonna walk off on next week's episode. Drew is gonna walk off because her and Portia is getting into it again. It's stupid to me. I don't know if Drew is actually going to leave the trip. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Drew actually really did leave the trip early. Y'all ain't heard that from me though. But it wasn't what we think it is for. I'm gonna wait till next week to spill the rest of that tea, but uh-huh. And they did go out and do some activities, some horseback ride. I mean, not some horseback ride. What you call it? The mechanical bull thing. They did do all that. But yeah, Portia is dressed up like an alley, not an alley cat. See, the other friends don't even know it's beef. Right. Because I think it's stupid. Now, at the end of the episode, this is what I did not agree with. I did not agree with Portia's friend saying that Drew was giving Dennis fellatio. Whether you was playing or whether you was serious, I didn't like that. Unless you got some hard receipts, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Why would you say that out loud like that? And then everybody thinking that's funny and that's a kiki. No, it's not a kiki. And I'm gonna tell y'all, regardless of how Portia acted, Portia was triggered in that moment. Portia talking about, oh, he go over here and he do fellatio on this person, 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 this person. Well, let me just say this: that's still your baby daddy. At the end of the day, hate to say it, but it's the facts. That's still your baby daddy at the end of the day. I don't even know why y'all let that comment be something that everybody sit at the table and slap their knee and kiki about. That's not funny to me. Did y'all catch that? What y'all feel about that? I didn't like that. Saying, oh, well, she sucked on it or something like that. She said, I was like, oh no, ma'am. That's not okay. That is not okay. And that was as the episode was going off. I didn't like that. I don't know. I didn't like that. Because if there's some, don't say that behind my back. Say it when I'm sitting there. Say it when I'm sitting there. That's what you can do. Don't ever play on my name like that. Say it while I'm sitting there. Yeah, I didn't like that. I did not like that. You sit up saying that, and then everybody at the table want to kiki about it. I think it was a few people that didn't, but that was not funny to me. Britt did look uncomfortable. Britt did look uncomfortable. I'm sure she was triggered, especially with the description of those pictures per Cynthia. Cynthia said it was Britt sucking on somebody's knob. So I mean, I can see why she was probably triggered. But I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I was just like, now, girl, even if you was playing, that's something. Don't say that unless I'm at the table and I can defend myself. And that was Angela's whole thing. She was like, everybody wants to talk about Drew when Portia comes around, but let's hear what you got to say to each other's face. And again, I think we're beating a dead horse with this back and forth beef about Dennis. Portia, you're literally filming YouTube videos with Dennis in them. Like, enough is enough. And I know that this was filmed back last year, but enough is enough, girl. Let it go. I cannot. I just cannot. I can't. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do miss Kenya on the show. Um, and I do wish that. Well, I'll say this. I'm glad that they are trying to move past what Kenya and Britt did. I just need Britt to be able to move past it, right? I'm not gonna lie, I miss Kenya Shade and her confessionals and stuff. Like I've been saying that. I've been saying that. And I also been saying, what you do to one, you should have done to both. So I just feel like I'm gonna sit back, see what the rest of this season is going to give. I feel like these ladies I feel like they clocked in the work, despite all the drama. I do feel like they are working. I do. I feel like they working. I don't really see nobody that's not working. And what I mean by that is, y'all know, it looked like all these ladies have clocked in and done a little work. Okay, it may get a little bit more rough down the line, but it looks like all of these ladies have clocked in thus far to give us a little something. Shamia done already gave us something. Angela done gave us something. Britt, okay. Portia, she trying to give us something with this Drew stuff. Drew is giving us her and Ralph's divorce. Kelly has given us her divorce. She's given us her kids. She's given us shade. She's given us the things. So, I mean, it seems like these girls are working. Now, this girl in the front, we haven't seen her on the show just yet to know what she's going to do. However, she was in the after show. So let me show y'all something real quick. Let's see. Y'all, your boy been busy today. I've been live 4 times. This makes 4 times. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me. Okay, bravo. I'm not. Uh-oh. I'm not going to play this whole thing. I just want to show you guys really quick. Hold on 1 second. Why does this keep happening? Okay, there we go. Okay, back it up a little bit. Okay, so here are. Oh my God, what is going on? Okay, I'll just go to Instagram. I don't know. It seems like the Wi-Fi tripping today. Anyway, I was gonna try to show y'all this little snippet from the after show. But anyway, Bravo is releasing the Real Housewives of Atlanta's after show next week. So we definitely won't be able to review the show until Mondays because I absolutely want to know what they have to say in the after show. So I'll be recapping the show and the after show at the same time. Or I'll recap the show and then recap the after show. And I'm saying next week, but next week, guys, y'all probably won't get a review until Tuesday, because I'm probably echoing and everything. Hold on a minute. Check, check, mic, check, mic, check. Can y'all hear me now? Girl, do y'all see what this thing? This thing kicked me out and everything. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. Okay, y'all can hear me now. Girl, I don't know what that was about. That was weird. I told y'all this Wi-Fi doing some weird stuff today. Anyway, y'all probably won't get a review until Tuesday because I'm not due back home until Monday. So because the awards is like Sunday night and it's supposed to last quite a time. So I am out until Monday. I mean until Tuesday, okay, for sure. So I appreciate y'all for tuning into my review for the Atlanta Housewives. I'm still gonna stick it around, and we gonna get it how we can. Again, I've been live 4 times today, so I know some of these notifications and stuff didn't go out, which is okay. I think I'm done with my lives and stuff for today. However, Patreon and members, I have a video for you guys tomorrow. I have the pork chop video for y'all tomorrow, and then hopefully by before I leave on Thursday, I think. Before I leave on Thursday, I will premiere the ribs and barbecue sauce. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will be sure to catch you guys in the next video. Bye.